Hi guys, today we discuss about Azure Entra ID, formerly Azure Active Directory. Azure Entra ID is Microsoft's cloud-based identity and access management service (IAM). It helps organizations manage users, groups, applications, and access securely across Azure, Microsoft 365, and third-party apps. Why Azure AD? Azure Entra ID. Microsoft rebranded Azure AD to Azure Entra ID to align with the Microsoft Entra family. Entra ID is called identity and authentication. Entra permission management, cloud infrastructure permissions. Entra verified ID, decentralized identity. No functionality change, only name plus expanded identity version. Core functions of Azure Entra ID, identity management, users, cloud only, synced, guest, groups, security, and Microsoft 365. Devices, Azure AD join, hybrid join. Authentication, username and password, multi-factor authentication, MFA, passwordless FIDO to authenticator, Windows Hello. Authorization, role-based access control, RBAC, app-level permissions, conditional access policies. Key components, users, cloud users, hybrid users via Azure AD Connect, guest users, B2B collaboration, tenants, dedicated identity boundary. Each tenant is equal to an Entra ID directory. Conditional access. Enforce MFA. Restrict access by location, device compliance, risk level, application. Enterprise applications, SaaS apps, Salesforce, ServiceNow, etc. SSO using SAML, OAuth 2.0, OpenID Connect. Azure Entra ID architecture, Microsoft 365, Azure, SaaS apps, Azure Entra ID, authentication MFA, passwordless, users and devices access that. Security features. Feature MFA. Description. Extra authentication layer. Identity protection. Detects risky sign-ins. Privilege identity management PIM. Just-in-time admin access. Access reviews. Periodic access validation. Azure Android integration. Azure RBAC controls access to Azure resources. Microsoft 365. Email, Teams, SharePoint. On-prem ID, hybrid identity using Azure AD Connect, CI/CD, DevOps authentication. Azure Entra ID editions. Edition, free edition, basic user and app management. P1, conditional access, hybrid ID. P2, identity protection, PIM. Microsoft 365, E3, E5 include Entra ID features. Common use cases, single sign-on, SSO, secure remote workforce access, hybrid identity, zero trust security model, application authentication. Interview tips. Azure Entra ID is called authentication and authorization. Azure RBAC is called resource level permissions.